affiliation. The new Showa Posse uses political affiliation for its benefit, because they fund politicians. You know, in other words, the context is we run things, things don't run we. Meaning, we're in charge, you're not in charge of us.
In 2007, Bruce Golding, head of the Jamaica Labour Party, became the 8th Prime Minister of the island nation. It's believed the president of Tivoli Gardens delivered the vote for his party.
It is said that Dudos was the one who said, we want him. We need a prime minister to be our man.
Golding became prime minister and owed Christopher Coke. When you owe a gang leader for your election, the gang leader's in pretty good stead. You're on speaking terms with the prime minister. You're taking care of schools and hospitals and everything else. And you're also dealing drugs. But who's going to touch you? You are untouchable. The only thing that can go wrong is if the United States comes in and says to your country, extradite that guy. Send him over to us. We want to prosecute him.
Coke, who goes by the aliases Dudas, Shortman, and President, is regarded by justice officials as one of the world's most dangerous drug lords. He's already the subject of a federal indictment.
It has to send a chill through the body of any Jamaican. If it could happen to Coke, then it seems to me they are likely to say that the United States can simply do that to any Jamaican citizen.
By 2009, the U.S. Justice Department had a serious case of deja vu. As they had before, prosecutors were targeting a brutal gangster named Coke, alleged to be running an international drug ring called the Showa Posse.
Much to the great alarm of the federal government, now the fear was that Christopher Coke was going to start to invest in legitimate businesses in the U.S. and elsewhere and be involved in them in a way in which we could no longer extricate him from his influence here.
Like father, like son, Christopher Coke had become a gangster in the mold of his father, Lester, one of the founders of the Showa Posse.
Connections to Jamaica's Labour Party date back to the time when Coke's father held the title of Don in Jamaica's Mafia. He died in a fire while in police custody.
Even before the U.S. Attorney's Office unsealed its indictment, another government was on the trail of Dudas.
Police say the Showa Posse has its tentacles now deep in Toronto neighborhoods, supplying the street gangs.
Christopher Coke would occasionally visit his sister and family in Toronto using aliases. And how we know that is Toronto police had wiretapped alleged members at that time of the Showa Posse, including his sister.
In 2005, a series of gang-related shootings rattled Toronto. While both the victims and perpetrators were believed to be from rival drug gangs, authorities found a common thread.
They realized that there's a supplier, and they found out who the supplier was. He got wiretapped.
They began following the source of supply all the way to the top. The Showa Posse was supplying all sides of the gang wars in Toronto.
They ended up wiretapping them for like 4 years. There was constant conversations between Showa Posse members in Toronto and Jamaica.
While the Toronto investigation was ongoing, the U.S. government had seen and heard enough. August 28, 2009, the U.S. Attorney's Office in New York unsealed a grand jury indictment against Christopher Coke and formally asked Jamaica to turn over a gangster. They used the Toronto wiretaps to help make the case.
The Prime Minister and the Justice Minister say you used warrantless wiretaps. That breaks the law in Jamaica.
The government then for 9 months attempted to frustrate that extradition request in quite a corrupt way.
Putting aside whatever behind